Hi, I'm Jorie Bernhardt. I'm the Director of Youth and Family Programming at Temple of Aaron Congregation, and welcome to the Bernhardt Bayit, where we are baking babka. So on Saturday, not only was it Shabbat, but it was one of my favorite nerdy science holidays, well, math. It was Pi Day, 3.14. So in honor of that, we were going to learn about baked goods from around the world. And so I am bringing you a taste of that from our home. So to make babka, it requires a nice yeasty, sweet, rich dough, and then a good filling. Cinnamon is traditional, but modern age now does chocolate, which is what we're going to do today. And I'm going to link the recipe below this video so that way you can follow along and also make the choice of whether you want to go cinnamon or if you want to go chocolate. So to get us started, we first have to make the dough. In this bowl, I have 1 packet of active yeast. That's 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast. If you're like me and get the massive Costco kind, you'll measure out 2 1/4. There's also a 1/4 cup of warm water, enough to get the yeast activated, moving, woken up from its sleep in the fridge, and a teaspoon of sugar also to feed the yeast. So this has been sitting for about 5 minutes, and it's starting to get, there we go, good and bubbly, which is what we want, and a nice floral aroma, which tells us that our yeast is ready to go to work. So in this bowl, I am going to put 4 cups of all-purpose flour. Make sure to get all of that. And then I have a 1/2 cup of just regular white sugar that's going to go in. And then I'm going to put in a teaspoon of just regular table salt. And we're going to go on a little adventure. My kitchen is sometimes not the most workable with counter space, but we're going to go to the other counter where I have my stand mixer waiting. And we're going to mix this up with a dough hook. And just give it a little bit of a mix. So I'm going to go back to the other counter and grab the eggs and the warm milk and the butter. We need butter. If you want to make this recipe parve, which means dairy-free, you can. You can use vegetable oil instead of butter, and you can also use more water instead of milk. So there is flexibility if you want to go dairy-free. What we're going to do is we are going to add the yeast mixture with the machine on, and then we are going to go ahead and add the eggs and then the butter, and the milk's going to go last. So yeast goes first. We're going to turn on our machine on low, and we're going to add our yeast in. Make sure to get all of it because we need all of our yeasty beasties to help us make this into some delicious risen bread. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're going to add the butter. And I always like to slice my butter into smaller pieces just so that way it incorporates a bit better. Actually, we're adding the eggs first. All right, so we add them one at a time to make sure that they are good and incorporated. That's 1, 2, and the 3rd. Great. We can can go ahead and add our butter. And what we want to see is that the dough is starting to come together. We don't want the dough to be too sticky, and we don't want it to be too dry. We want it to be the right proportion. All right, in this mug, we have a half cup of milk, which I warmed up in the microwave. And you want it to be warm, but you don't want it to be too hot because that's not going to be good for your dough. So with the mixer on, we're going to just add this very slowly because, again, you want to make sure you keep your yeast nice and toasty, but you don't want to kill it by overheating it. So I'm just adding it nice and slowly to my mixture. And what we want to see is that the dough, again, comes together. It's not going to be too sticky. It's not going to be too dry. If it's too dry, we'll add a little bit more liquid. But usually this comes out pretty on target. So while that's mixing up, let me tell you a little bit about babka. So babka is originally from Poland, Ukraine, Eastern Europe. And how it originated was that on Fridays, as they were getting ready for Shabbos and making their challah dough, you know, kid's going to come up and say, "Mom, I'm hungry. What should I eat?" And so the solution was they'd take off a little bit of dough, stick a little jam in it, pop it in the oven, and it'd be a sweet little snack for the kid to eat while we're waiting for the delicious challah. And that evolved into it becoming a treat that was served on Shabbat. And again, the original recipe is made parve because that way they could have meat for their Shabbos dinner or their Shabbos lunch and still not have to worry. So my dough is a little bit sticky right now, so I'm going to add some more flour. And so how babka became so big was that it was brought to America, just like most other foods, and it became big in New York. And they'd fill it with anything from cinnamon to almond paste to cheese curd for Shavuos. Really, the 1990s comedy Seinfeld also brought babka to life because apparently Elaine on the show absolutely loved babka or something. I've never seen Seinfeld. Maybe an episode or two, but I haven't seen Seinfeld. Okay, so our dough is getting better because it's clearing the bowl, which means that all the dough is around the dough hook, which is what we want. And that's a good sign that our dough is not too sticky, not too dry. And I'm just adding a little bit more, and it should be good to go. So, fun fact about babka is that on Purim, sometimes they make babka and add a little bit of brandy or rum, and they call it chicken babka, which literally means drunken bubby, because babka means little bubby because of getting the little pieces of dough on Shabbos. This is what our dough is going to look like. It's a nice ball. Again, it's not too sticky. It's not too dry. It is ready to take its 1.5 to 2 hour nap. So I will see you all in about that time when it's ready, and then we'll roll it out and fill it and have it do another rise and then bake and then of course eat. Hello and welcome back. It's been about 1.5 to 2 hours, and our babka's had a really nice nap, and it is doubled and ready to go. So this is what it, sunshine. This is what it looks like. And it's got a good, if you press on it, it springs back. So that's how you really know that your babka dough is ready to go for the next step. So this dough, and it's so nice and soft, is actually going to make 2 loaves. So one for now, one for later. They freeze really well. So I like to use a bench scraper, and I cut the dough in half. I'm going to tilt my screen down so that way you can see this a bit better. Okay, so now I've got 2 halves of my dough for safekeeping, I'm going to just put one back in the bowl, and we'll do this one at a time. So while the babka slept, I made the chocolate filling, which is a cup of chocolate chips. If you're doing this dairy-free, make sure you use dairy-free chocolate chips. Semi-sweet is great. You don't want to use milk. It's too sweet. There's a half cup sugar, quarter cup of cocoa powder, some melted butter. And again, if you're going dairy-free, you can use a dairy-free margarine. And there's vanilla extract in it as well. And that's going to be split between the two halves. So I am going to just gently press out my babka dough onto this lightly floured silicone mat. And I'm just trying to make a nice little rectangle. You can use a rolling pin. I just like doing things a little bit by hand. My hands are clean and I've not touched my face. So we're doing really well. And you just want to make this into a nice, even rectangle again. Trying not to have any holes or anything like that, because then you're going to lose out on your good chocolate filling. And you don't want to do that because that's where the good stuff is. And the thing with babka is and most yeasted baked goods, is that it's a lesson in patience and time, in that it takes time. So after we do this, there is going to be another rise, but I promise you all of this patience and waiting is 100% worth it for it to come out. Just very yummy. So once you have a nice rectangle, I like using an icing spatula to spread out my chocolate filling. And you want to leave an inch around the edges, otherwise you're going to have overflow, and that's really sad because, again, you want to keep the good stuff on the inside so that way you can enjoy it later. So I'm going to use about half of my filling because, remember, we have another babka we need to make, and I'm going to just kind of pat it down and try to spread it out as evenly as possible. You can use an icing spatula, you can use a regular spatula, whatever you have on hand. You don't have to get too fancy. So for the magic of TV, so to speak, I'm going to just do one of the babkas. I'm going to show you how to do one of them, and then you'll get to do the second one on your own because it's essentially the same thing. And it is, the filling is very thick, like very paste-like, so don't be alarmed if that is what you're experiencing. And I am realizing that I do need a little bit more filling than I put on here originally, which is fine, because if you have to make more, you have to make more. I mean, who wants to skip on chocolate? Like, that's just not right. Okay, and again, you want to make sure you're leaving a good margin so that way you don't lose out on all of that goodness. You're going to roll up your babka into a nice tight log, sealing in all that chocolate goodness. And what you're going to do from here is you're going to take a knife and you are going to carefully cut straight down just like that, and you're going to open up this seam. And the reason why you do that is so you get that really nice twist and that really nice appearance of what do you think of babka looking like? And here's where the fun part comes in. And this is something that kids can really help with. I mean, this is all very kid-friendly. is twisting. So the secret to doing a good twist is you're going to put it into an X shape, just like that, just like an X chromosome, or just like a chromosome in general. And I'm folding it down. Sorry, the sunlight's starting to come in. And you're going to work your way from each end out. And you're just going to give it a simple over, under, over, under, over, under. And again, over, under, over, under, over, under. So that way you've got this nice long braid. And in honor of Pi Day, we're going to do this as a circle. So a wreath. So I'm going to just tuck those ends together so that they come together, just like so. So now I have over here a prepared round pan. You can make this as a loaf. You can make this as a round, whichever one is totally fine. If you're going to make it as a loaf, obviously don't put it into a ring. Just keep it straight and put it into a standard baking loaf pan. If you're doing it as a round like this, I buttered the pan, which again, if you're doing it dairy-free, you can use oil, and I put some parchment paper. I'm then going to go ahead and very carefully pick this up, plop it on in, just so that way it fits, and it's going to look like, there we go. It's going to look like that. So you can see the twist and the braid. And guess what? This now needs another hour and a half to 2 hours to rise. So go ahead and fill your babkas and get it to this point. I'm going to let you do the second one on your own because it's the same thing as the first. And we'll see you again in about 2 hours to bake. All right, we're back. It's been about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and our babkas are looking great. They're ready to go in the oven, which has been preheated to 350. So oven's ready to go, babka's ready to go. And again, the way you know your babka is ready to go is if you press on it, it springs back. Bake in the oven for about 35 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and pop them in, and I'll check back with you in about 35 minutes. All right, welcome back. It's been about 35 minutes and our babka is done. I wish there was smell-o-vision because our kitchen smells amazing. What's not to love about fresh baked babka straight out of the oven? So here is our beautiful babka, nice and golden brown and chocolatey and delicious. Ready to eat, but not quite yet. Wait for it to cool. Thank you so much for joining me on this baking adventure with Bernhardt, Babka in the Bayit. Great news is you'll have it as a snack for our 1 o'clock musician in residence video. So come back to the TOA Facebook page, check it out. It's going to be great. Hope you are all doing well, staying healthy, staying calm through all of this, and just we're here for you, and keep staying in touch on our Facebook page. Thanks so much. Take care.